Please go ahead. We're on.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome everyone for a new CRID webinar. Today we have an interesting talk, and looking forward to this talk with the guest that we have today, Maie El-Hage. And let me please give you a little bit of introduction about Maie El-Hage, our today's speaker, who's an art university instructor, an art journalist, and an artist manager, holding a Master of Art degree in Art History and Theory from the University of Essex in the UK, and the Bachelor of Architecture degree from the American University in Beirut. As a teaching experience, Maie has 6 years of teaching experience in total, including 5 years at the Lebanese American University in Beirut, focusing in teaching history of art courses, including history of architecture and history of interior design and history of graphic design. On a professional level, Maie has 5 years working as an architect and a research consultant for an art exhibition at the American University, and an art journalist with a research that focuses on the modern and contemporary artists in the Arab region. Maie is also an artist manager, presenting several Arab and European artists. This is a brief introduction about our speaker today, Maie El-Hage. And please, I would like to encourage everyone, if you have any questions, to send them and to type them in the Q&A section, or to send them privately as a private message to me in the chat, and they'll be directing your questions to Maie at the end of the session. That's all from my side, Maie, today. And for now, so please feel free to start the talk and go ahead with your talk.
Thank you very much for introducing me, Mohannad. I'd like to start by thanking the American University in Dubai for inviting me to speak at this webinar. And basically, today's topic is going to be about curating during the pandemic, how to successfully bring contemporary art projects to the public in the age of coronavirus. So I'm going to be discussing 3 art events that took place in 2020, including one that started in March of 2020, a second one scheduled in the summer of 2020, and a third one that was taking place in the fall between October and November 2020. I have had previous curating experiences, but this was my first curating role directly. And I want to share with you the experiences in chronological order in order to see how the events unfolded as I took the responsibility of realizing the projects, even though we are in a pandemic. The first art project that I worked on with artist El-Hage was a solo show. It was titled An Autobiography as the Universe, and the venue was a gallery in Gemmayze in Beirut called 392 Irmel 393 Gallery. It was in March of 2020. Now, the exhibition opened on Thursday, March 5, 2020. Here we have a photo of the artist, and he's standing in front of the gallery. Originally, we had scheduled the exhibition to run from March 5 till March 29. As you can see from the photos, we used the gallery space.
Maie, sorry, we stopped seeing the screen. So I'm afraid if you can please share again.
Yes, sure. Yes, so I was speaking about the exhibition. So we can see that the exhibition was open to the public. The public was attending the exhibition and looking at the art projects. We're going to have a look at the artworks later. Dr. El-Hage works in digital art media. These are some beautiful digital artworks that are printed on Chromolux aluminum, which is a high quality medium. And each painting or digital painting is in a limited edition. The opening was a huge success. We had many people attend. However, on Saturday, March 7, 2020, just 2 days after the opening, the World Health Organization issued a statement on cases of COVID-19 surpassing 100,000. And Lebanon officially entered into the first COVID-19 lockdown on Monday, March 9. Now, this also affected my teaching. I teach at the Lebanese American University. All teaching at universities moved to online lecturing as per this date. Now, at the beginning, we didn't know how long the lockdown would extend, till what date it would extend to. So even the artist talk that we wanted to hold at the gallery that was scheduled for March the 12th got postponed. And we were still under lockdown. So by March 28th, we decided to do the artist talk online. So we recorded it remotely on Zoom. Here, the video is available on my YouTube channel, Art Historian Maie, in which I talk with Dr. El-Hage about his project. It's a very thorough interview. We talked about many themes related to the project. We launched this video on YouTube on April 5, 2020, after some editing done by the video editor who I work with. And we originally intended to reopen the exhibition on April 23, 2020. This was also postponed. I would like to note here that my role as a curator included also figuring out solutions, because it wasn't fair to Dr. Ralph to close the exhibition only after 2 days. And we understood that there was a pandemic, but we did want to realize the project. So I had to be creative. I spoke with the gallerist, Mrs. Nelsie Masroud, and we discussed the situation. We understood that there is a pandemic. We understood that we cannot have events that crowd a lot of people. So what we decided to do, I will speak about this in a moment. We decided to just have, as soon as lockdown was lifted, we decided to have something which we called a closing ceremony, which is spread out over 2 days and over the whole day. So from morning to late afternoon, carefully asking people to book an appointment before coming, telling them that we will not let in more than 2 or 3 people in the gallery at a time. We had a garden space, so we invited them to use the garden as they waited their turn. We had social distancing measures. The gallery and the outside area of the gallery was disinfected. We had disinfecting lotions, etc. Masks were mandatory. And we thought this was a good solution to reach the public with Ralph's art, and at the same time give those who wanted to see the exhibition a chance to see it, even though it meant that we cannot welcome a lot of people. So in addition to this solution, we also realized that we had to bring the exhibition online. So we collected our videos that were shot before, and we created something which we called the digital experience of the exhibition, a video that showed every single piece of artwork in the exhibition space with a montage and with some music playing in the background. This was also created with the help of the video editor that I work with, Bassem Daou. And we launched this video on YouTube, also on both my channel and Dr. Ralph's channel. Also, LAU Spring Semester 2020 ended on May 13, 2020, also online. So the whole semester ended up being online after it launched online in March. Now, I'd just like to read for you the invitation letter of the closing ceremony. So the letter to our contacts, our colleagues, the media, the press, our friends, was that we will be welcoming visitors on 2 days, Tuesday, May 19 and Wednesday, May 20, from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We will be abiding by social distancing measures. We prefer to schedule an appointment. During these events or open house event, if you will, the garden will function as a waiting area, also with social distancing measures. So I have some photos here of the closing event. Now, I'd like to share with you the good news that we didn't have more than 1 or 2 persons at a time in the gallery, but at the same time, we were never empty. So somebody would come in, look around, have a look, and leave within, let's say, 30 or 40 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, someone else would arrive. So it was a success. And on the last day of this closing ceremony, we closed the sales that we had made. We also used a room that was next to the garden in order to put a projection of the video that we created during lockdown, so that the public can also watch and hear the video of my conversation with Dr. Ralph. The press covered this event. Some of the press had attended the opening event before lockdown. We have this article in Arabic by Hanadi Ad-Dari. This is my own article with Dr. El-Hage at Arte and Lusso. And also, Lorient Le Jour, Zena Zalzal published this article in French. We have here some of the artworks. They're really quite beautiful artworks. It's an autobiography as the universe. Dr. Ralph researches processes of creation, and he uses digital images in order to create patterns, often inspired by nature, and trying to recreate the experience of existing in the universe. We had also some triptychs. This is one of the triptychs. So in conclusion, we learned from this experience. Basically, we learned that we have to be proactive, we have to be creative, we have to find solutions. It's important also to bring in the public, but always abiding by safety measures. During the summer of 2020, we had lockdown lifted for some time, and I was working with an artist called Wissam Milhem for his first solo show titled Emancipation, which was held at Art on 56 Gallery, also in Jamaica. I spoke with the gallerist on many occasions. She was hesitant about holding this exhibition. I relayed to her my experience of curating during the pandemic, and I suggested the same kind of concept, which is instead of having an opening that lasts for 2 hours and a big crowd of people, we would do it over 2 days, spread out during the day, not more than 4 or 5 people in the gallery at a time. Masks are mandatory, etc. So here's the invitation letter. Also, this gallery has a garden that functioned as a waiting area. You can see that the opening was on Friday, June 19, 2020, from 12 noon to 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, June 20, 2020, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. And also preference to scheduling an appointment. This is the artist, Wissam Milhem. This was from the Photoshoot by Art on 56. And here are some photos from the opening. This is a very spacious opening. This is a very spacious gallery. It's quite, it has a high ceiling, well ventilated, quite spacious. We have some of our friends and colleagues who are visiting. And also it was covered by the press. So this is an article in An-Nahar in Arabic by Hanadi Ad-Dari. Also, an article by Colette Khala, Le Rien le Jour in French. And my own article at Home Magazine for Lebanon in English. So, the artist and I attended the 2 days of the opening. After that, we let the gallery handle the rest of the exhibition, and they also worked by appointment. And the third exhibition I'd like to share with all of you was one that was supported by the Italian Institute of Culture in Lebanon. It was titled Under the Same Sky from Italy to Lebanon. This was a project that was realized after the tragic August 4 blast in Beirut. Our friends in Italy, who are artists that I work with, wanted to show a show of support, a show of solidarity from Italy to Lebanon, and we had the support of the Italian Institute of Culture. The main project that our Italian friends wanted to share with us is this project, which is the Starry Night. We have this image of the Milky Way galaxy, and it is printed on flags. The message behind this artwork is that we are all under the same sky. We all belong to the same planet. We're all in the same galaxy. So this flag is a flag of all of us. It's a flag that unites, not a flag that separates. So I'd like to share with you how this project was realized. First of all, the artists Antonello Ghezzi, who are Nadia Antonello and Paolo Ghezzi, came up with the idea for this project. We reached out to the Italian Institute of Culture in Beirut. I'm sorry. We reached out to the Italian Institute in Beirut, who showed interest and then offered their full support. I was invited to be the curator, and El-Hage was invited to participate with his art. So we had a team of Lebanese artists and Italian artists. And then we searched for an appropriate venue. Deir el-Amar has long been a favorite venue of the Italian artists. Antonello Ghezzi have exhibited in Lebanon before. They visit Lebanon frequently. And we thought that Deir el-Amar was appropriate, not only because it's a beautiful place, but also because of its name, Deir el-Amar, home of the moon, which relates to the concept of the universe and space. We reached out to the Lebanese University Faculty of Fine Arts and Architecture Branch 4, and they offered us the garden courtyard. After that, we set a plan and we proceeded from there. So originally, we intended to open this exhibition to the public with social distancing measures. This is our invitation that was sent. It's the press release or invitation sent to our contact. It was supposed to open on Friday, November 6th. Now, Deir el-Amar went into lockdown at this point, so we had the plan B that was ready. We reverted to plan B after we saw this issue. And so plan B was to do the whole project online. I'm going to explain how we launched this project online. It was scheduled for Saturday, November 14, 2020. So we had a timeline. On Monday, November 9, we installed the paintings and flags with the team. I will show you photos in a moment. On Tuesday, November 10, we installed the lighting and we had a photo shoot, a photography day, both during the day and at night, with a professional photographer. On Wednesday, November 11, we recorded an artist talk on Zoom between Beirut and Bologna, where the Italian artists are based. And then the project launched online on November 14. Even though it was available online on both Facebook and YouTube, we didn't stop there. We put together 3 short videos produced by the team for online promotion on Instagram, etc. And then we kept the whole project installed until the end of November. And on December 1, we uninstalled the paintings and the flags. So here we have a few photos of the exhibition. You can see that it's in the garden. It's in the garden courtyard. We have the flags that are installed, and we have the beautiful digital paintings by artist El-Hage that are printed on canvas. We stretched the canvases between the trees. The whole idea of this concept was a promenade in the garden. Also, when you're in this garden, you can look up and see the stars at night. So it was aligned with the themes. The name of this project by Dr. El-Hage is Nature is a Forest of Symbols. We can see imagery of trees in the paintings, which reflects the site itself. Here in the entrance of the university building, we had posters with the curator statement in both Arabic, English, and Italian. I had a very good team supporting me in this project, or installing the flags, stretching the paintings, a lighting team. We also recorded videos of me introducing the project because we knew that we were going to put this project online. So we created as much material as we can, material that we can use. Here we have the lighting. It's starting to get a bit dark now. Here I am with a member of the faculty and the director of the Faculty of Fine Arts and Architecture. We also used this room here, which also overlooked the garden, in order to project a video that was edited by Basendao with original music score, also by Basendao, showing how each one of Ralph's paintings transforms into the other. Also, it's important to know that being outdoors was important for this project, not only for the themes, but also for safety precautions. Both the paintings and the flags are waterproof, and it did rain, but that was fine. These are photos from at night. Now, because we couldn't invite people to this event, at least the students got to see the artworks. We had some students visit shortly after installation. Here we have some students who were visiting. I was explaining the project. Here they are looking at the paintings. We had filmography, we had videography done at night as well. So we had all the material that we needed. This is Mr. Nader Arzouni, who provided the lighting. He also came to visit, which was very kind of him. So we were really a small group. We were a community, but it was very beneficial. This is the room that was used for the video projection. We got creative. We found some broken pieces of glass on the floor, and we kept them there as they reflected the light. I'd like to play now the video of this artwork.
May, you would like us to play the video?
Yes, please. Video 1, please.
Okay, just 1 second.
Yes, so thank you for playing the video. So so what we just saw was basically a video that was animated by Bassem Dao, the video editor, and it also has original music because Bassem is a musician and a music producer. He was a member of the team. So we used this video. We both projected it in that space on location, and we had it available to put it online as well. So if somebody couldn't come to Deir al-Amar and see the video on site, you can just watch it online. Of course, it's not the same, but it was one of the it was one of our content, the content that we created for this event. So I'm just going to conclude now. So Under the Same Sky was realized thanks to the Istituto Italiano di Cultura Libano, or the Italian Institute of Culture in Beirut, and who offered their full support. Originally, we wanted to bring the Italian artists here to be a part of this exhibition, but Italy was under lockdown at the time. So they sent the flags via mail, and I received them, and I with my team, we installed them on campus. And I also would like to thank the Lebanese University for offering this space as a venue for this exhibition. So again, we had to be creative, we had to find solutions. And to conclude, I just want to share these 6 recommendations for curating contemporary art. And I will use this slide to kind of reflect on the 3 exhibitions. So 1, it's important to establish the purpose of the exhibition. Is the purpose of the exhibition to showcase an artist? Is it to have a cultural project? So this point includes solo shows and group shows, etc. Also, it's important to have a good working relationship with the artists. 2, finding the right venue, integrating art into architecture. When you meet a gallerist in order to propose a project, you have to be flexible, you have to be open to new ideas, you have to be creative. 3, production management, the importance of having a good team. I had an excellent team. Also, we had a photographer, Maie El-Hage, who was who shot the photos and created videos. We were able to install the project over 2 days in Deir al-Amar. So you have to take complete responsibility for production and installation. If the venue itself offers any help, that is of course welcome. 4, be well prepared for changes. Always have a plan B ready at hand. When I met with the director of the Italian Institute of Culture, Dr. Monica Zecca, we had to have a plan B. We said we're either going to open or it's going to be a lockdown and we have to launch it online. So we had the material ready to launch it online. 5, documenting. Going public means going online today, definitely. So documentation is very important. All kinds of documentation. Even if you have an excellent photographer, take your own videos, take your own photos, keep a log of every change to the exhibition that took place. Be ready to launch material online. We used Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And have the content ready to launch not only before the event, during the event, but also after the event, which brings me to point 6, after the event. Continue to reach out to the community, follow up after the event, keep the themes of the exhibition fresh and available online. Not everybody watches content once on the day and the hour that it's launched. Some people take their time to look at online content. For this reason, it's important to keep following up and to keep the idea and the concept of the exhibition fresh in people's mind. And with that, I'd like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maie, for this interesting talk. Thanks for your time and thanks for the talk. Actually, we do have some questions for the content that you introduced, and I would like to start with maybe the most obvious question. That would be in a such crisis that we are currently in, you would always have opportunities and have new. It would always open these challenges would always open the door for new opportunities and new ideas. So What do you think? What do you think where do you see these opportunities in such crisis?
It really depends on who the actor in this opportunity is. Is there a gallery that is interested in having an event in order to keep the gallery working, in order to keep the gallery relevant? Or is there an artist that is interested in having a solo show? Or is there a group of artists who are interested in group show? It really depends on who are the actors and what is the intention. Based on this, we can find solutions. We can decide to have an exhibition and have nobody attend. We do proper video recording, put it online, good content, or we can, if the one-on-one interaction is important, depending on the rules and regulations at that time and place, we can find a way to have people come and visit over a period of a few days, maybe. It really depends on the intention and who is the actor that is seeking out that opportunity.
All right. This my next question would reflect on the last slide you showed, and talking a bit about your background, knowing that you had a bachelor degree in architecture and then master's in art. So talking about choosing the right place or the right venue for the exhibition. So in the changes that we are currently facing, and with you having a background in architecture, would you suggest maybe in a redesign, new proposal for art spaces to be, considering this challenge or this hard times we are in? So did you use the link between architecture and art to propose maybe new design spaces, especially outdoors, to have some of these exhibitions?
Yes, definitely. I'd like to answer in two major points. The first point is that definitely exhibition spaces have to be redesigned. Exhibition spaces are already spacious because if you have a painting and it's hung on the wall, you need a certain distance between the viewer and the painting in order to absorb and view the painting. So already exhibition spaces are designed to be spacious. Now with the coronavirus and the pandemic, we have to take these issues into mind in a more considerable way. We have to think about circulation. We have to think about how many people at a time can enter the space. So I think this is not only limited to exhibition spaces. I think it is relevant to other types of spaces as well. But because we're discussing culture, then yes, definitely, architects have to think about redesigning exhibition. Actually, this could be an opportunity. Sculptures have to have the whole circumference around the sculpture to be spacious and unobstructed, so that you can walk around the sculpture and see it from all angles. So so that's my first point. The second point is in relation to the Deir el-Qamar project. Yes, when we first visited the university campus, we asked for a floor plan, and we wanted to use the garden courtyard because it was it was linked to the themes of the art show, but also because it's outdoors, it's spacious, it's healthy, etc. We saw this space that overlooked the garden, and it was an unused space, and we decided it was useful to use it for the video projection with the sound. Now we went into some detail here. For acoustic purposes, we had to see which doors had to be closed. We had to see how can we set up the projector, etc. We used the plan definitely in order to kind of seal this room and make it part of the garden space, accessible from the garden, etc. So yeah, definitely, we also thought about circulation, and when we put the posters in the entrance, we wanted people to enter the space, read the posters, and then take a certain pathway to get to the garden without disrupting the classroom. So definitely my background in architecture did play a role in figuring out how to best use the spaces that the university offered us.
This takes us to the next question, May. When you talk about a plan B, going online for an exhibition, what do you think, or how can you highlight the weakness or the weak points of going online for an art exhibition, considering that to be a plan B? So what are the main weak points or the weakness of switching for an online exhibition? And at the same time, what are the strengths What is the strength of and the strong points of switching online?
Okay, definitely the weak point is the experience. It's not the same. It's not the same being in a space that has been designed and set up in order to showcase art. It's not the same. You're going to look at the content on a screen. You're either going to look at it on your phone or on your laptop, or maybe if you're interested on your large screen. So you're going to see the experience on a screen. So that's definitely one of the weak points. It's not the same as being in this space. Now, in order to compensate for that, you have to be creative, and you have to take it on all levels. It's not enough to do video. You have to do audio. That's why it was important for me to have a musician on my team, because he not only he's a video editor and a musician. He not only composed original score, but he edited the video so that the transformations that happen in the video align with the audio. So this enhances the experience. And so the strength of taking a project online is basically that you have content that is available 24/7. That would be the strength. It's just a matter of being creative with the content, have different types of content. Don't be repetitive. Even if it's the same exhibition, you can look at it from 100 different angles. You can have a short video, you can have a long video, you can have an interview with the artist. So and you can put it once you put it online, it's available 24/7 and accessible at any time, at any place. That's one of the strengths, I would say, and that actually makes the project eternal in a way. Even though the exhibition might end at a certain date, you can still see the content online.
All right, thank you, Maie. Maybe the last question would be, how do you see the future of this? How do you see the future? Do you see it as a mix between online showcasing and on site, I would say, showcasing? So how do you see the future of art and art exhibitions?
Yes, it's really, well, we're in an era that is quite unpredictable. So I'm not going to make any predictions about a pandemic or etc. But definitely things have changed. Things have changed, and we have to think about, why do people look at art? You have the cultural aspect, which is to see art, to experience art, to learn from art, to sort of either have a cultural or even an intellectual experience. But at the same time, you also have to think that some people buy art, some people invest in art, some people want to acquire art and put it in their homes. So these are two different things, and the gallerist usually caters to both these needs in a way. So in terms of the future of art, I think definitely this hybrid model will continue. We will hopefully still be able to go to exhibitions if they're properly organized and set up. And we have the online content, which is definitely here to stay. It's going to get even more creative. It's going to get even more present. But the role of the gallerist or the curator for buyers has to be proactive. You have to really, because some buyers are buying art online. How do you know what a painting is going to look like in your living room if you don't see it in person? You're going to look at a screen. It says the dimensions, but you're going to have to estimate. There are ways. You can either have the client send you a photo of his gallery. You can use Photoshop to scale it. You can use your sense of taste. Does it go with the living room, etc. So you have to be. I think the curator and the gallerist has to be proactive, has to be persistent, has to continue the effort on all the levels that this entails. But definitely, my hope is that the experience of art in person will not fade away, that people want to see events. We had people come to our opening at Art on 56 that happened over 2 days. What was people's main response when they came to the opening? They told us, "We're so happy you did this. We were waiting for something like this." It was a very positive response. People want to be able to go out to see art, to be there in a gallery space, because gallery spaces are beautiful. It's meant to enrich your life. It's meant to enrich your experience.
I totally agree, and I hope we don't really switch fully to be online, and because of the the feeling and the experience that you get even going for an art exhibition. It's not only about looking at the art space, but also feeling the design space and how they are placed. So I hope that we stay in touch with the reality of going for the art exhibition. I think these are all the questions that we have for you, Maie, so far. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for this interesting talk today, and thanks for everyone who joined in. Thank you, George, for organizing this, and that would be all from my side for today.
Thank you, Maie.
Thank you, Dr. George. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good day. See you.